Microsoft hit something of a milestone over the past week. It's now the most valuable company in the world. An absolutely incredible performance, even just for this year. You can see the size of the move. So given how far it's come, are there even more gains to come from the Microsoft stock price? I thought it'd be interesting to do an update on Microsoft, given it passed this milestone, the most valuable company in the world, overtaking Apple. So I thought, let's take a look at some of the recent news about Microsoft, the analysts' expectations. Then, as usual, we'll come back, take a look at the charts and see what the technicals say. Hello, I'm David Jones from Capital.com, and I thought we should do something on Microsoft, as it has recently become the largest company in the world. So I thought, let's go through some of the recent news, some of the facts, analyst expectations, earnings, levels to watch. Then we'll jump back onto the platform and take a look at the charts, take a look at the technicals of what has been an incredible trend this year for Microsoft. As usual, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, if you could click on subscribe, it does help support the channel and it means we can continue to push out lots of different content throughout the week. Right, let's get into it and take a look at Microsoft in a bit more detail. So just in case you're not sure what Microsoft is, founded, of course, in 1975 by Paul Allen and Bill Gates, came to the market in March 1986. So you've been able to buy stock in Microsoft for, about 35 years or so. Perhaps best known for its PC operating system, Windows, and of course there's the Microsoft Office suite of products, the Internet Explorer browser, not so popular these days, of course, and of course the Xbox for gaming. So as I said at the start, it's now the world's most valuable company. It's overtaken Apple. It's got a market cap at the time of recording at just over $2.5 trillion. It's been a great long-term hold for investors if they've been lucky enough to have it in their portfolio. The stock price has increased almost sevenfold over the last 5 years. And just this year, the price of Microsoft is up by 50% year to date. It's been a great year for markets, but Microsoft has outperformed, I think, the main indices here. We had the latest earnings not so long ago. So they came out in October. The company beat expectations. Earnings per share expectations was around $2.07. Microsoft came in at $2.27. And it said it had grown revenue over the past 12 months by almost 22%. So a great performance. And again, I think those earnings are one of the reasons we've seen the stock continue higher. When it comes to analyst forecasts, the median forecast is for around $363, which is only 10% higher than where we are now. The most bullish forecast comes in at $407 for the stock over the next 12 months. But as usual, let's take a look at some of the big levels to watch. When it comes to resistance, because we're at all-time highs, we're really just looking at psychological levels. So 350 next, then 375, then 400 if those levels get broken. On the downside, lots of good support left on the way up. For me, the most recent one comes in the 4th of October low, down around $280 for the stock. But as usual, to put some color on these numbers, let's take a look at the charts, take a look at the trend, and look at the levels and see what the technicals say. So here's the last, 6.5 years or so for Microsoft. And you can see that the broader trend has definitely been up and it's accelerated really since 2019. What I want to focus on is what's been going on since the lows in March 2020. So let's zoom things in. Let's start things off with our 20-day moving average. As usual, a buy signal when the price moves above the 20-day moving average, signifying that maybe an uptrend is starting, and a sell signal when the price moves below the 20-day moving average. The latest signal we had for Microsoft, if we jump over here, mid-October, with the price moving through around $295 for the stock. And then, of course, the stock broke out, started moving higher, and here we are around $333 for the stock. So from a moving average point of view, that trend is definitely still up for now. If we take a look at the RSI down here, the RSI is a traditional overbought, oversold indicator. People will use it to try and signify when the market has perhaps reached a short-term extreme. It's pretty overbought, the Microsoft price on the RSI. It's actually, we've got to go back to January this year to see the price anywhere near this overbought from an RSI point of view. I just say, the usual caveat there, in strong trending markets, RSIs and the like, overbought, oversold indicators, will reach an extreme fairly quickly. This went overbought back towards the end of October, and the price has moved another $20 higher since then. So it's a way of taking the temperature of the market, but of course doesn't work all the time. Let's focus on the trend. So the trend since the March 2020 lows looks like this. It's been a really good trend line, this. Not far off being a textbook trend line. Quite a few touches on the trend line. For me, the last one, it came pretty close. That's close enough for me for a touch, down at $280 at the beginning of October this year. So for now, that trend line is coming in. It's still around the $280 mark. So even if we saw Microsoft drop about $50 from where the stock is trading now, that bigger trend is still up. And I think it's only if we start to break below 280 do we have to start thinking that perhaps this latest part of that longer term trend is running out of steam. So many technical analysts would take the view it's still very much a buy the dip stock at the moment. It's had a great run up, $50 over the last 5 weeks or so. There's always room for some sort of a correction. But for me, 280 is the big level to watch. Perhaps if we saw a drop of $30 or so from now, watch the 300 to 305 area. But a great trend for Microsoft, largest company in the world. Let's see how the next few weeks and months unfold. That's it for this update in Microsoft. We'll see how it performs from here. Incredibly strong at the moment. For now, at least, that trend is still very much in place. We'll do an update in the weeks ahead, come back to it, take another look. But for now, from me, David Jones and Capital.com, we'll leave things there. Good luck with your investing. For more trading videos just like this, please subscribe to our channel.